What's happening, guys and gals? Bonafide Hustler here, coming to you with a live show with the stuff that I found this weekend at garage sales that I aim to sell on eBay and Amazon. So welcome to the show. I hope I sound good, okay? You guys have to help me out in the feed. I see some people here already, and I will show you some of the things that I found. Dude, I found a stellar find today. I posted it in the green room. If you're in there, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, it's a pair of shoes, super awesome, but I can't help but think that was today's find, and it was just one of those things that was, I'm gonna go to. I actually challenged myself today. I was like, you know what? I usually don't buy food. How do I say it? I usually don't buy food for myself during the week, outside like restaurant kind of food. You know, like I just don't buy restaurant food until like maybe the weekend. And I told myself I was really hungry and I had a lot of things to do today, and so I was like, I'm gonna buy tacos at Taco Deli, but I'm gonna go hit 3 thrift stores. And sure enough, on one of them, I think I found a pair of shoes that's gonna be worth somewhere between that 200 and 300 range pretty quickly. Like, I just really think so. And I scored them for $12. So that was awesome. Anyways, I'm the Bonafide Hustler. I reside in Austin, Texas. I flip stuff I find from garage sales, estate sales, yard sales, flea markets, pawn shops, swap meets, and I put it on places like eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, my antique booth, and consignment stores in town. This is what I do part-time. The other part of my time, I am inventing a private label brand. I work on a fitness channel, and I also am one of the co-creators and owners of thegreenroomuniversity.com. Those things you can check out down below. But today's show, we're going to be talking about the stuff that I found last weekend at garage sales. I woke up at 6:30. I was at my first garage sale around 7:10, and I wrapped up garage sales around like 10:20ish or something like that. So you can kind of see the time frame of 3.5 hours. This is what he found, and that's what I'm gonna show you today. All right, so what's up Darren Eckelman? And that's right, I do have a new video on my workout channel. He's saying something about it, so if you're watching, this is a live show too, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so let's talk about what I found at the G sales. And this is me and my brother. We went out garage selling tennis rackets. Tennis rackets are one of those things that you definitely want to dabble into. I was thinking today while I was in one of the thrift stores, I was like, I kind of want to make a video about the 5 most passed by items at a thrift store, like, meaning not that you pass them by, but the most passed by when it comes to the sorting facility in the back. Like, they usually miss these things, right? And so I thought about it, and I was like, one of these 5 certainly is going to be tennis rackets, right? Now, I didn't find these at a thrift store, but my brother found them. I think he paid $3 for both or something like that. One is this liquid metal rave head one, and then the other one is nothing special, but it's in here. I think one of them's worth like 25, and the other one, this one's a force, nothing crazy. This is nothing this is probably a $25 racket right here. It's a titanium frame, but the real, I think, money might be this one right here. There have been a couple that have sold around 90, but I think this is honestly a $50 racket. So, when you're at a garage sale or stuff like that, $1 to $3, 2 rackets. I think a good racket flip is something that you can buy for $1 to $5 and flip it for 50. Like, that's a good racket flip. When I hustle shoes, the minimum kind of shoe that I get into is something that's no more than 11 and sells for 50. Like, that's kind of like a very repeatable type thing that I can do. And so when it comes to rackets, my brother, a very repeatable thing that he kind of does is a racket that's $1 to $3, and there were 2 rackets here for $3, and he's trying to aim for the 50 mark on at least one of the rackets. It just happened to come with another one, so that was pretty good. What's up, Tino the Soul Advisor? Good to see you. So yes, let's talk about the next stuff that I found. And do you guys pick up this kind of stuff or not? I was at a garage sale, and I recently sold one of these on eBay. Not one of these, but this type of item, and it sold for like $80 or something like that with shipping and all. And it was a Pioneer turntable. Wasn't working. So here's another non-working, motor broken turntable. This is a Sony one, so nothing special here. But it was free. So it's free. Do you pick it up or not? What's the angle here? How would you resell this? And I'm thinking that maybe locally or piece it apart. The turntable, is obviously okay. The little counterweight mechanism may be okay. Maybe the needle is an aftermarket needle. Don't know yet. Haven't even inspected it that much, but it was free. So I was like, all right, they are a pain to ship. That's right, Ryder Reeves. I mean, the last one was such a pain in the butt to ship. But I'm thinking on this one, maybe we're going to attack the local game, or we're going to, piece it out a little bit. So don't know yet, okay? But I just wanted to disclose, free items, I usually pass most free things, right? But when it comes to something like this, like, I'm gonna buy it, you know. So yeah, free is good. That's right. All right, so that's one of the things right there, and thought that was really cool. I'm gonna show you something really neat at the very end of this video that I'm like super jazzed up about, and I haven't opened it up yet. So and it's not new, or I mean, it is new, but it's nothing to resell or anything. But I think it's cool, and I think my audience would really enjoy it. So let me talk about something else that we found here real quick at the garage sales. This one's marked at 5. I think that's exactly what we paid for it. I don't think we talked this one down, but here we have a chess set. Now, a lot of times when you go to garage sales, you're going to find chess sets that are usually made by a company called Excalibur, right? Sometimes they're Radio Shack, and those can be okay. Like when you start getting some of these vintage ones and the pieces are like wood and you start seeing wood accents, I get really interested in those. This was an Astral. I believe this is a mid-'80s electronic chess set. It's kind of like a Chester type chess playing board. This is like way before chess apps were like really invented. This is way before like internet. You know, people, when they wanted to play chess and play kind of like that Karpov-Kasparov type of, like, you know, like that high level of kind of chess, then they would buy stuff like this. And this is an Astral, what is it? An Astral 410. I think it's considerably worth about $70. So we picked it up for $5, and that is not too bad. And we did, yeah, you probably do want to, and Emerson, my brother, did that. He sat there at the garage sale for an extra couple minutes and counted the pieces and made sure that they were all good. Outside of that, we haven't really opened it up and checked out anything else, but I would imagine that people take really good care of these things, and there shouldn't be any kind of, and I need a Scrooge to get that thing open, but there shouldn't be any kind of, how do I say it, like battery corrosion or anything like that. So should be pretty nice. But yeah, wooden kind of electronic chess sets, definitely pay attention to that. They can be really, really good money, and typically they really are. So at that same garage sale, I'll show you something that I found, and I think this was $1 or $2. I cannot remember, but would you guys pick up stuff like this? Who knows what this is? I'm not going to turn it, because as soon as I turn it, I think you'll figure out what it is. But yeah, what do you guys think this is? People should know what this is. This is pretty awesome, actually. And as a hint, I think College Picker, who is one of my business partners, went to one of these kind of like exhibits at one of the museums in Japan. So this is pretty neat. It's relatively heavy. Yeah, so this right here is a kaleidoscope, right? And it looks to be, it's got a wood end to it. It could be, I don't think it's brass, but it could be, right? It's got a nice little base to it. Perfect stuff for my antique booth, but also if I can kind of locate a couple things, maybe a model number or a brand or something like that, I might be able to move this thing on eBay, right? And if I'm thinking on eBay, then somewhere in the 30 plus is kind of where I'm starting to think this thing's going to shake out. So that was pretty nice. Now, it's not one of those gigantic ones or anything like that, but it's certainly a really nice desktop one with some really good weight to it. Yeah, and it's really pretty. Like, if you look inside of it, it is really pretty. So that was a no-brainer. I think this was 3 or 5. I cannot remember, but it really doesn't matter. Like, I have to rescue this kind of stuff. Like, this is important to rescue it, and it'll find its way on eBay or in my antique booth, or both, right? It might be in my booth. I'll label it. I watch the booth every single night, what sells, and if I see that it sells, I'll yank it off of eBay, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's a good way to double list this kind of stuff. Now, this probably won't have any market on Craigslist. I wouldn't move it there, but in my antique booth and, you know, in eBay, yeah, those are 2 good markets for this. If I'm going to put this in my booth, though, I will place it pretty high, though, because kids and all that kind of stuff, they're always going to be like, hey, what the hell is this thing? If you place it kind of high, the adults tend to put it back where it came from. So anyways, that's a pretty good score right there. Definitely always pick these things up if you get a chance. Pick up kaleidoscopes, but not the ones that are made out of cardboard or plastic. Like, you kind of want heavier ones like that. So yeah, pretty nice. Michael Razzo says from LMR Treasures. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I thought it was pretty cool. So I was at a garage sale. What did we pay for this? I think $35 for all this stuff that you're about to see next. Okay, so just remember that $35 for all the stuff you're about to see next. Some of it was a mistake. Some of it was a mistake, and I'm gonna just kind of, you know, tell you guys right now. Like, I thought that one of these things was gonna be better than what it was. So we got into some like nerd games, and that's what I kind of call them. Now, this is not a nerd game because this is mass-produced Stratego, however you want to say it. This is not really a nerd game so much. It's called Deluxe Pit. But these start getting kind of nerdy-ish right here. We have Killer Bunnies. These are like, maybe that's not so much nerd game, but I swear that some of these are starting to get like, this for sure is kind of nerd game to me. When I say nerd game, it's basically the kind of games where typically made by Rio Grande Games or companies like that, where it's more of a strategy base. They're endorsed by Mensa, things like that. So very strategy based. You can play through a game sometimes within 30 minutes. Sometimes it takes an hour. Strategy game of planning with surges of energy. So usually they're strategy based kind of things. Wooden pieces are very common on games like this. So that's important. These are the kind of games where you definitely want to count the pieces too. It doesn't take too long because right here it says 2-sided game board, 48 power plant cards, money, and over 200 wooden pieces. Okay, maybe the 200 wooden pieces part is kind of sucky, but we thought that this was going to be a much more expensive game, but it's shaking out around 35 bucks. We paid 35 for everything that you're about to see, including this thing right here, and it looks mint. So that was there. This game called Killer Bunnies was part of it, right? Nothing crazy. And then we have Killer Bunnies right here, which is just another thing that was just part of the whole thing. And Stratego, or Stratego, however you want to say it, which this has got to be like pretty much nothing. Like this is going to find its way in my booth maybe. It might not even be caliber for my booth. I mean, the kind of caliber for my booth. It's $19.99. Okay, so maybe it is. Yeah, it's a $19.99 game. I think I played this back in the day, but I'm not 100% sure. $19.99, I can still put it in my booth. It's still considered, to me, it's kind of like a retro kind of thing, even though they still make this today. So anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting. So there's that. And even still part of that $35 deal. And this is why you want to buy low, buy smart, and bundle stuff. Because this is what I picked up. Like that was what Emerson picked up. This is what I picked up. You're going to laugh at one of the things because I was like, oh my gosh, how much for all that? What do you think is in this bag right here? Right. So I'm going to kind of grab it with one hand so you can kind of see that it has weight. All right. It has weight. The bag has seen better days. Right. But I don't think anyone's ever going to decide. It's something that excites me to no end, and it should excite you as well. But it's kind of corny. So what do you guys think is in here? I'll let you guys guess, and I will show you. All right. I will show you the really good find of that $35 haul. Okay. And that is sitting right here. This is the big winner. So these are grip fast shoes. All right. And grip fast shoes, these are just, I'd like to say like these are some of the more basic ones. And if you get into more advanced ones, or they're usually taller, like they're usually taller and they go like mid calf or higher. Very emo, punk, goth, whatever you want to say. They usually are characterized by the soles looking like Vibram soles, but they are made in England and they have screws on the bottom. Like there are screws in the sole and they are visible screws. All right. So I thought that was pretty cool. This probably is going to shake out 80 to 120, like this pair of boots right here. In very good condition too. So that's the one that saved the day right here. So now going back to the bag, it's going to be corny, I guarantee you guys, right? People are guessing Legos, Lincoln Logs, $12 juice bottles, avocados, a sandwich, magic cards. Oh, we saw so many magic cards that day, by the way. We didn't pick up any of them, though. So, yeah, Legos. Okay. You're going to laugh because it really has no value, but it has value to us as resellers. I'm going to show you what it is. It's a bag full of tape. Now, you can see how that excites us. You see what I'm saying? A bag full of tape. There are what seems to be 9 rolls of tape in here, untouched, brand new. That's good. That gets me excited, all right? Because that's like business owner type stuff. That's the stuff we need. And it's always good to find it for like dirt cheap. So that was awesome. Okay, also went to a garage sale. I don't know if this was part of the $35 deal or not, but I think it might have been no, this is part of another deal. So this was like $1 or $2 in this other garage sale. It's just a game called Consensus. There's nothing, I think the rank on this game is like maybe 128K or something like that. It's yielding around 28 pure profit, like after it's all said and done. I think that's this one. So that's an FBA type stuff, meaning it's going to Amazon. So I thought that was kind of good. This is kind of one of the ones I knew I was supposed to like research this thing before the show, but I picked it up. It was $5. This thing weighs like a gold brick, okay? And I have actually picked up a gold brick before. Back in the day when I was younger, like my parents have gold, like in a safe, right? So gold is heavy as hell, and this feels like gold. So this is a Kitchenaid. I want to say it's discontinued, like they don't make this thing anymore, or maybe just they don't make this model. So okay, hold on, let me backtrack something real quick. Pecan says, what did you pay for the tape? You know, the tape in the bag was part of the $35 deal. It just came with it, right? So back to this thing right here. I know this was $5. This was part of a little bundle thing that we did, but this was $5. I don't know what it's going to sell for. I have a feeling it's around $100 though. So it's a KPRA Kitchenaid. It's basically the pasta roller attachment that goes on the actual Kitchenaid thing. Okay, so you know how expensive the Kitchenaid things are, right? It goes on there and it turns it into a little pasta roller thing. So someone out there, one of my friends, my buddies, Knight, is probably going to look this up, or one of you guys out there who wants to be my best friend, or ladies, look it up. A Kitchenaid pasta roller and cutter set. What do you think I can get for it on eBay? Sold, look up solds, look up completeds, you know, that kind of stuff. Pasta roller, and it feels brand new. Like, I don't even know if this thing's been open, honestly. It feels like it feels brand new. So just based on weight, I didn't even look in there. I'm not the kind of guy who I like to go through my garage sales very quickly. So I don't spend a whole lot of time at a sale unless like there's a whole lot of money at risk, right? And $5 is not that much money. So thought that was interesting. That was a good find, you know? Okay, so let's talk about something else that I found this past weekend. This came from that sale. I think this one's marked at 15. I think he sold it to us for 10. Who knows what this is? You should know what this is. I've done plenty of videos on this brand. But yeah, what do you guys think? Guess the brand. And if you're going to say Toomey, shame on you. No, but it's a better brand than that. This is a very Tony Montana type. I'm going to show up to your house and make a drug deal type thing. It's a neat, it's a neat thing. They almost always come with dents. I've never hustled one that didn't have a ding or a dent in it. So we got a dent right here. These things are like armored, man. I'm telling you, like super armored. And this is not even like the highest models of this brand, but this is a very, very hard to break and damage kind of case. So what do you guys think it is? You should know. Here's the other side of it. This one says, I voted on blah, blah, blah. A lot of the dents on this case you'll see down here in the corners. And of course, every corner seems to have some sort of scuffs or dents, and that's okay. You can still sell it like that. So here's the brand for you. There is the brand. It is called Zero Halliburton. You should know this. This is good. Zero Halliburton is not something that you see every single day. When we picked it up for $10, we're initially thinking somewhere in the 70 to about 110 range on resale on this thing right here. So yeah, it's like a little armored case. Short of maybe having the chain that locks onto your wrist, you know what I'm talking about, like all those like films that you saw back in the day, like Con Air and stuff. Like they always have someone with like important money stuff with like a chain that goes to the wrist, like a pair of cuffs. You know, it's so cool. So that's that type of case right here. All right. So look out for that brand, Zero Halliburton. I've done plenty of videos with Zero Halliburton stuff, and I mentioned it in there. So part of the deal of that $35 deal with the tape and the nerd games and the grip fast shoes and all that kind of stuff was this. E-Money thinks he can get some money for this. My brother thinks he can put this on eBay and get some decent coin. I don't know. I think it's a little bit more mass produced and something that, you know, it's just a normal like seaman or Navy person's hat. That's what I'm thinking. So I don't know. I don't think it's worth very much myself. Even it came from Banana Bay here in Austin, Texas, which is a military surplus kind of place. I don't think it's worth pretty much anything. I probably was worth $5 at most, but that is something that was part of the deal. I want to say hello to Mr. Rakin, Texas Gal Treasures in the house. Got a lot of cool people. Through like Gorilla Picker and a bunch of people. What's up, Tino? Yeah, lots of people in the feed right now. 81 viewers in the house. I really appreciate your support. One of the other things that I found at the garage sale, I will take out my phone because this one was way too big to bring into the house. But this was a really, really solid score for $40, and us being in a lake-related town. Let me see if I can get this thing up for you guys. We live in a lake-friendly type town. Okay, so Lake-related goods are always like, awesome. So here we have a Hyperlight board right there, and that was 40 bucks with bindings, and it was used once. Any Hyperlight board that's relatively current in the past year or 5 years with bindings, there's not a single entry level Hyperlight board that you can get into like less than 250. Like, it just does not exist. So, a Hyperlight board like this, it's a wake board, first of all. So it's the kind of board that's dragged behind a boat. You are strapped into it, so it's not a knee board. And it has bindings. Like, these are bindings that are on the board, and the bindings, if they're open toe, then it's more of like a range. Like, it's more of like, like women's 7 to women's 10. If they're closed toe bindings, then it's a very specific size. So anytime that you're dealing with a wakeboard, you always want to like look around the edges. You want to look on the bottoms to see if it's been used at cable parks or on things like box features or rails or sliders. You also want to check out and make sure that the fins are with it, because some people take out the fins when they go to cable parks, and sometimes the fins are very crucial to making the deal, because sometimes the fins are what makes the board track properly. I know my personal board, if it doesn't have the fins in and I've ridden it without the fins, it is like a death trap, right? But as soon as I put the fins in and I screw them in, it tracks perfectly through the water, and it's an amazing ride. So that's a board that we picked up for 40 bucks. We really think we can get maybe, 150-ish, 140-ish, something like that in town. So that's going to be a local sale, but I wanted to show that to you because it's kind of a big thing, and maybe I'll do a single video on wakeboards alone. But if the season's right, you live by lakes, definitely a good thing to get into lake-related goods like towables, meaning like tubes and things that people tow behind boats. Get into wakeboards, the correct water skis, and you probably want to get into wake surfboards as well, because wake surfing has basically trumped wakeboarding on most lakes in America. So if you're lucky enough to come across some wake surfboards at a garage sale, you can make some really, really good money on that, because I don't think in this town there's a single wake surfboard less than 150 on Craigslist, and I look all the time. So that kind of shows you, like, if you go to a garage sale and there's a wake surfboard for 10, 20, 30, or 40, and you're by some lakes, then I already know, like, that's a stellar deal. Like, there's not a single board less than 150. If you deal with Craigslist, 150 might end up being a $100 offer, right? But still, if you're able to turn 10, 20, 30, or 40 bucks into 100 pretty quickly, and it's a one-shot kind of thing, and it's a board, like the buyer looks at it and goes, I'll take it. That's literally what happens. Like, there's nothing else. You can't just get on it and try it out. It's a board. You need a lake to try it out. So anyway, so that's pretty cool. Lots of comments coming through. 81 viewers still in the house. That's cool. We got some loyal viewers. I'm going to show you the last find of the day, and I thought this was a really good score. E-Money got this one, my brother. And I can't believe it, because this was at a garage sale. Check this out, guys. This was at a garage sale that was at 9:30. Like, not opening time 9:30. Like, we showed up at this garage sale at 9:30, okay? And I know in Austin, Texas, we got competition. Like, there's a lot of people in Green Room that are here, and I'm proud of that. Like, I'm proud to know most of the members that are in the Green Room that are in Austin. They've ridden in my truck before. I'm cordial with them. I treat them as my family. They're really good people to hustle with. But it's surprising that no one made it to this garage sale besides myself and my brother. So we popped on this. This was $3. Seinfeld Complete Season, which I never knew this existed. Now, some people out there might be like diehard Seinfeld fans, but this is all DVD, the complete series. I was kind of like blown away that the entire series fits in this one little box. So that was, my brother thinks he can get like 20 bucks for that. I'm not 100% sure, but that's something that I didn't even like question. I was like, cool. And then, all right, so and then for 20 bucks, because there are no nunchucks in here. And when I say there are no nunchucks, what am I talking about? If there are no nunchucks in here, I must be talking about something that is. Let me know. You should know. And that was the talk down point right there. The fact that there weren't nunchucks in here, that was the talking down point from 30 to 20 bucks. And nunchucks you can find everywhere for this thing. So who knows what nunchucks belong to besides crazy ninjas that defend their like temples, like, what do nunchucks? That's right, the bearded picker. Wii, all right? So nunchucks are part of the Wii system. Now, I'm not going to show you the games that we got yet, because that was in there, and they're awesome. Thank you very much, Morgan B says. Oh, sorry. I thought that was meant for me. Morgan B says, hey, 10K, I liked your video today. Ooh, I thought you liked my video. Anyway, so there's the Wii right there. It's got some component cables, nothing crazy, nothing to rave about. We got the bar, and my brother's got a bazillion nunchucks. I have like 4 in my house, so we can test this thing out and get it sold. And a lot of times when we mess with Wiis and we plug them in, there's almost always a game in it too. I don't know why, but it's typically Wii Sports or Mario Kart or something like that. Now, let's talk about the games that I got. Thank you so much, Chris, from 10K on the Bay, showing Bonafide some love. Appreciate it. So here are the games. That one sucks. Nothing. All right. Don't worry about this one. Okay, and then it starts getting really good. I'm like, holy crap! Like, here's one. $9.30 at a garage sale, guys. $9.30 for 20 bucks. Like, this is what was in there. Like, unscratched, perfect condition, right? Mario Party 8, interesting. Unscratched, perfect condition. I thought that was like, what? Like, why is this even here? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So there was that one. And then it was like, okay, are you kidding me? Like, a GameCube game just sitting in there too. Like, wow. And you know, I wish it was SSB, Super Smash Brothers, but you can't complain when it's the Wind Waker one. So that was pretty decent. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, Wind Waker. Mario Party paid for the lot. You're right. And then Wind Waker, you can look that one up. So that was a great score as well. I'm pretty happy with this find, or these finds. And it was definitely worth my time going out to garage sales. So, oh, okay, so here we go. Bring it back again, saying that the Seinfeld Complete DVD Set is going for upward of 60 bucks. I had to look, LOL. This is used, though, okay? So maybe used, you know, get on eBay, look at used, and sort by highest. This one has a little bit of peeling on the back, nothing crazy. But by the weight of it, I'm pretty sure everything is in there. So, you know, I thought that was a pretty good garage sale run. I mean, some solid finds and stuff that I can definitely bring to eBay and Amazon. And some stuff for Craigslist, but I like to show the diversity of the products that I kind of pick up. And when you go to when you're in garage sale mode or thrift store mode, that's how you win. You gotta be, you have to have a very diverse mindset. You have to have a very, you have to possess the mindset also to know when to risk money, you know, and when $1 or $2 or $3 or $5. You know, if you lose it, it's okay. If you learn something, that's what matters. But a lot of these things here, I mean, we just pick them up on the fly. We're just like picking them up. You know, when we do the Wii lot, as soon as I saw a couple of those games, we looked in one, I was like, hey, just make sure they're in there, because we've been in garage sales where they're amazing game cases, and then you look and there's no game in there. So we just saw one in there, and that was it. That was the one. We didn't have to see any other games. That's how we based the deal. Like, it was just right there. So we can even sell a used Wii with 2 nunchucks in town for like 40 bucks. So, you know, on the local market. I thought it was a pretty solid day. I keep looking around because I think I missed something, but I'm not 100% sure. But you always got to try new things. That's what makes a good hustler a good hustler. That means you can go to any town in America and just hustle, because you'd be surprised how much the item quality differs if you go to like a place like Florida, where all the people go there and they retire, and then it's like estate sales and stuff like that, versus a place like California, which has a beach nearby, you know, and now there's all kinds of like water related goods. And then you come to Austin and there's all kinds of like eclectic weird stuff here. And that's the reason why you really want to populate your mind with a lot of stuff, because it doesn't matter where you are in your town. Like, if you decide to travel, you still want to be a good hustler, you know, and you still want to go to garage sales and be able to pull the trigger on cool things. Case in point, when I go to North Carolina, I tend to look at, I see more antiques and vintage and cool stuff, that kind of like, how do I say it, American Pickers type stuff at garage sales. I'll see some really crazy things, completely other side of the spectrum kind of stuff. But that's one of the reasons why I keep the antique booth. You know, the antique booth is not the highest paying thing at all. It's at all. But I keep it because it keeps me trained on antique stuff and old stuff. So it's the reason why I still dabble with FBA. I still like eBay, and I still like the local market, because it keeps things fresh, you know. So anyways, it's good to see you guys. That's pretty much the video. If you enjoyed it, learned something, or saw some finds that were like, holy crap, that's a great find, then please hit the like button. And also, don't be a stranger. If you had a really good find this weekend, please post it below. I do try to read every single one of the comments that comes through my channel. I don't have the time to respond to every single one, but I try to get around to 5 or 10 a day or something like that. So I'd love to hear about your awesome hustling triumphs and scores. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Smash the like button, like 10K on the Bay is saying. Guys, I'll see you on the next Bonafide Hustler broadcast. I've done 2 today, so that was pretty awesome. But I'll see you tomorrow. I'll definitely get live and show you some cool stuff. All right, guys, take it easy. Goodbye.